Oh, what's up, guys? This is the Galaxy's Greatest on YouTube. Make sure to give a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and as always, subscribe to the Galaxy's Greatest. Last week, week 1, I went an astonishing 14-2. The 2 games I lost were by missed field goals at the end of the game. I feel I should be 16-0, but you know what? 14-2 is not that bad. As a matter of fact, it's pretty dang good. Now, as for this week, last week's forfeit was to eat an onion, which I did not have to do. So the forfeit for this coming week, have to drink some orange juice in this glass, probably like up to here, maybe even lower. Doesn't sound that bad? Well, gotta brush your teeth first. That's right, gotta brush them teeth all nice and good, plenty of toothpaste, and then drink some orange juice. Gotta drink it all. That is, if you go 7-9 or worse. So, and the rate I'm going, I'm probably not gonna have to meet that fate. And Nico, he didn't have to eat the onion. Does he have to do that next week? We'll find out. He's not here today. I'll probably put his pics in the comment section or somewhere. Who cares? Nico's a bum. Anyway, let's get straight into week 2. First, we have the New York Jets at the Buffalo Bills. I will take the Jetropolitans over the Buffalo Bills. Pretty much, my decision here was I just think Jets are the slightly better team. Even though Buffalo swept the Jets last year, I think the Jets are out for revenge. And I think there's going to be too many coaching problems for Buffalo. I have the New York Jets winning this game. Next, we're going to go into my lock of the week. We have the 49ers at the Panthers. Congratulations, San Francisco. You won your first game in a pretty dominating fashion. Bad news, you're probably going to win 1 or 2 more games rest of the season. It's not going to be this game. I have Carolina destroying you guys in this game. Now, last week I said Seattle would destroy Miami, and of course Miami made it close to the end. But this time, I'm pretty confident that Carolina is going to handle you guys. Lock of the week, Carolina wins. End of story. Let's move on. We have Baltimore at Cleveland. I think Cleveland could upset the Ravens. I just don't see it happening this early in the season, even if it's in Cleveland. I say it can be a close game, but ultimately I will take Baltimore to win this game. Next, we have Tennessee at Detroit. Going by the way the 2 teams played last week, it's kind of an obvious choice. Tennessee did not do too hot. Detroit, they look pretty dang good. I'm going to go with the Lions. And it's in Detroit. Another reason to go with the Lions. Kansas City at Houston. A rematch of last year's wild card round where Kansas City absolutely destroyed Houston. I don't think it'll be the case this time around. I think Houston will actually get the victory in this game. Next, we have Miami at New England. Miami's defense looked pretty hot. Miami's offense, not so much. New England last week, they beat one of the best teams in the league without Brady or Gronk, or a couple other of their, key players. So, and this game's in New England, I have to go with the Patriots. I think the Dolphins could make it close, but I don't see them winning this game. I'm taking the Patriots. Let's move on. New Orleans at New York Giants. Last year, these 2 teams had a heck of a game. Final score was 52-49. It was a crazy, crazy game. This year, I don't see the Saints winning. I see the Giants winning this game. Ultimately, I think they have pretty even matched dominant offenses. So it comes down to which team has the better defense. It's got to be the Giants. The Giants' defense looked pretty solid against the Cowboys last week. The Saints' defense, not so much against the Raiders last week. I will take the New York Football Giants to win this game. Next, we have Cincinnati at Pittsburgh. Game of the week, gonna be a at their throat kind of game. It's gonna be kind of ugly, but I'm gonna say the Steelers will just barely edge out the Bengals. I think the Bengals may have a little too many injuries. Isn't that ironic? So, I'm going to say the Steelers win a close game. I got to give it to the home team in the end. Next, we have Dallas at Washington. I guess you can call this my upset of the week. I will take the Dallas Cowboys to beat the Washington Redskins. Ultimately, the Redskins didn't look too good last week. The Cowboys didn't look the best last week either. But Washington's run defense was so ugly last week that I think the Cowboys will run all over them. So give me the Dallas Cowboys upset of the week. Next, we have Tampa at Arizona. And I do think Tampa's a really good team and can make this close. But I just think Arizona's ultimately the better team. So I will go with the Cardinals. Seattle at Los Angeles. I think this game could be surprisingly close since it is a rivalry game. But LA, I do not see them beating the Seattle Seahawks this time around. I say the Seahawks will win. Solid win. End of story. LA, I don't think it's going to be too pretty for you this year. I think Jeff Fisher needs to get out of there, but that's for another time. Let's move on. Indianapolis Colts at Denver Broncos. I think Indy could make this another close game, but I think it'll have to be another close loss for them. I'm going to take the Denver Broncos to win. Ultimately, one, their defense is better than Indy's offense. And number two, Indy's defense is terrible. I mean, terrible. And I just think Denver's going to throw all over them. So give me the Denver Broncos, although I think Indy can make it a surprisingly close game. Next, we have Atlanta at Oakland. And I'm going to take the Oakland Raiders in this game. Simply, I like what Oakland's doing this year. Atlanta, Oakland's the home team. Got to give it to the Raiders. Very gutsy call by Jack Del Rio last week. Heck of a game last week. Next, we have Jacksonville at San Diego. Even though San Diego was putting a whooping on Kansas City until Kansas City came all the way back and beat them in overtime, San Diego, I don't think they're going to have too impressive of a season once again. It looks like they're going to be all banged up. And even though Phillip Rivers is ultimately the better quarterback, I just think Jacksonville is definitely the better team. I say Jacksonville will get the win in San Diego. And that's pretty much all I got to say. Jacksonville looked really good last week against Green Bay in a losing effort. I think they'll get the win against San Diego. Next, we have Sunday Night Football, Green Bay at Minnesota. Ultimately, I just think Green Bay is going to be the better team this time around. So give me Green Bay. I really don't have much to say. Just give me Green Bay. And finally, Monday Night Football, Eagles at Bears. This is kind of a tough game to pick. These are two, in my opinion, kind of evenly matched teams, record-wise probably. So, in the end, I had to go with the three, easy sayings. Home team, better quarterback, and better coach. And 2 out of 3, you could debate 3 out of 3, is in favor of the Bears. Bears are the home team. They have the better coach. Quarterback, you could debate Wentz is better, but it's way too early for Wentz's career, which is why I might side with Cutler. But either way, I will take the Chicago Bears in a close game. So, those are my picks. That's really it this week. No Nico. Hopefully he'll be back next week. I'm hoping to get Hagi on next week because him and I are going to have a discussion during week 3 if you know what our favorite teams are. And that's simply going to do it. So forfeit this week. If you go under 500, you must drink orange juice right after brushing your teeth. So that's going to do it, guys. This has been the Galaxy's Greatest. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Hit the subscribe button for more content. And as always, leave some comments. Who do you think is going to win this week? Who's your lock of the week? Who's your upset of the week? And as always, I am the Galaxy's Greatest. And I will see you down the road, baby.